Hey, good morning everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss Pre-Market Report for Wednesday, April 25th, 2018. I'm Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. Right now we are currently trading just at 26.28 half after yesterday's spill. We took a failed new high rather, and pushed to a new low, dropping back to the lower 25% key level of the key range and stopping there, which is 26.16. So again, this kind of goes to demonstrate the point that we were talking about yesterday, that typically speaking, we've been pushing quietly higher. We got a little breakout above our key level. We've pulled back, but there wasn't enough effort we were seeing to push this thing higher. And when you don't have effort, you start to see a failure, and that failure can lead to a major stop run. So again, trading around this midpoint zone, seeing a little chop back and forth. That's all usually to avoid. If you see a failed new high, you can jump in on that action. But again, the best opportunities are going to be out here at this edge, or perhaps at 2800 or above. That's where the better fade opportunities will occur. Beyond those areas, expansion occurs. But until we hit those areas, got to be a little bit more cautious right now. And at the moment, after yesterday's sell-off, we currently have a compression day. After a high range day, you tend to see a low range compression day, or at least a compression morning, and from there we could see some afternoon breakout from that compression. But for the most part, after you see a high range day, you tend to see compression. That could continue to be the case today. Alright, let's take a look here at the NQ. Looking at the NQ, very similar behavior, not quite a failed new high in the previous session, but still broke down through the previous session's lows. Major stop run day ensued, and we didn't stop till we were about 64.58. So major continuation to the downside. For the most part, we could be looking at much more weakness ahead, but we've been trading mostly around the 66.53. And here lately, after reaching this new low and this new high, we've come and made a higher low and a lower high, and we're compressing kind of in this manner. So again, this doesn't offer the best edge here. We have to be a little more patient and look for something either out here to fade back, or look for something at least out to here for a fade back. Those are the prime opportunities here, and until we see that, we could be looking at further chop. Again, after a high range day, you tend to see compression with a downward bias given the current bias of the market. So that's the current idea right now. Any bounce could be a selling opportunity for a push to the edge as long as price remains below 66.53. So a couple of ideas here as we head into the rest of the session. Taking a look at crude oil. You'll notice with crude, we have pulled back here after failing to get a new high here in the previous session. So we got a pullback and a push to a new high. We pulled back strong again, another big push up, but instead of getting a new high, it was a lower high. And now that usually leads to a break of the recent pivot low. So on a failed new high yesterday, we could be looking at a push through the recent pivot low and into the recent pivot support. That could provide another opportunity up. So right now, with the way that we've just failed to push beyond that previous high, failed above yesterday's high, and are now below the midpoint of that strong bounce day, that suggests new lows. We could be looking at least a return to 66.29 with the potential to see a move as low as 65.07. So any one of those can still be a buying opportunity for bulls. We got to be diligent about looking for rejection. The overall uptrendy market remains intact, which means 70.41 is still the next major upside target. But again, got to maintain market structure, and that remains remaining above 65.07 rather. All right, taking a look here at gold now. Here's a look at gold. For the most part, gold has been trading in a range for about 4 months, and as soon as this one's ready for expansion, we're going to see about 3 to 4 months of trending behavior in the direction of the break. If it's to the upside, it would be significant. If it's to the upside through 1375, the next major upside level to strive for would be 1525. So you would have a big time area right there to pass through. So that would lead to, you know, a mini month move that would take us through that level. Now if there's a failure, then we mark right back toward 1200. So it would be a move from 1300 to 1200 easy, and there's some additional targets down there. So that's about how that would play out from a longer term basis. We will be doing a monthly market outlook for May 1st next week, so that's something to look out for, and we will be talking longer term gold at that point in time. Here's a look at, lastly, the XBT. XBT right now, again, on the way up, a break to the upside, never got really a deep pullback for a bounce. Instead, it just held sideways and broke to the upside again. Today, having a bit of a profit-taking type of day, failed new high, pullback. It got as high today as the 97.90. So initially, when we got that break above the zone, we were talking about a likely push from 72.50 can lead to a bounce into 9,500 to 99.20. And so basically we got that move. That's a completion of that move. I was hoping that we'd get a cleaner pullback here and a bounce to get into that area, but you can see how sharp and quick that move was on the bounce up. Now we could see another pullback, and that pullback, typically you want to maintain market structure. I would say at least the 7,500 level needs to hold on a pullback, and that could provide a bigger bounce toward 11.3 to 1,200. That's the next major area up. So right now, not bad how it's bounced here recently. I would like to see it finally hit our target zone on the first move. We were looking for that zone right there. Now if price pulls back to some measure, we could be looking for a completion of the move of the greater target from 11.3 to 12K. So that could be how this thing plays out as we approach mid-May, something like that. So it could be the next 3 to 4 weeks where we kind of play out into this zone. But the first 2 weeks in that breakout has been very solid. Again, bulls will be looking to defend on that pullback. All right, that's it for now. Let's see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck and trade well.